Guys, welcome back to UFS, the profile. We're doing part 2 of the Platinum characters, and who are we with today?
You know who you're with.
I know,
Yeah.
but just legendary wolf Myles Tyler with his new store.
Yeah.
Who are we playing today?
I've been playing Napalm Man since Platinum dropped.
And why is that?
Because I like to be oppressive. I'm an alpha male. Except he doesn't have the good symbol, so I can't play alpha male.
Oh, that's sad face there.
Yeah.
So, what hand size and life does he have?
He's a 5 hand size, he has 30 life. He is the second version of Napalm Man because the first Napalm Man was broke. Hashtag Phil Birch. Hashtag fuck that game.
Okay, so what does he do for the people at home?
His enhance is your opponent burns for 2. If they don't block this attack, they can discard a card to cancel the effect. And his other enhance is once per turn, discard a card, add 1 attack from your discard pile to your hand.
So he's a hand control character.
He is a vitality and hand control character, yes. I think that he is probably the best 5 hand size character. I know that everybody is raving about Stone Man, but I think that Napalm Man is classy.
Well, if I recall, he got almost, I believe,
He got like 4th or 5th place at
the Arena PTC.
under
So,
Void, yep.
so far, he's so good.
Yep.
Okay, let's get in the deck profile and see what you're doing here.
So I decided to play him under Death because I really enjoyed Grant Padley. I got to play the original Napalm Man in a turbo event and figured out how much fun it was. So as soon as the second one dropped, I was like, I'm all about this. So for blue cards, I'm playing 2 apples because I'm a 5 hand size, 3 prepared to fights because the card's godlike. I pulled my trigger and 2 fists. For my attack lineup, it is 1 random off Skullbuster because for some odd reason this card during our draft for Platinum put in a lot of work. So I enjoyed the fact that I have a reversal in the deck other than my Skull Barriers, and that it's another hand control option because I play it, I burn you for 2 or make you discard a card if you don't block, and then I say discard 2, draw 1, and I control your hand on your turn. But I'll like do something cheeky like block with Skull Barrier and pitch a Balance Fighter on your turn to pick this up and then draw a card. So I'll have 3 cards. If I have 2 momentum, Skull Barrier is live, then I'll reversal with Skullbuster and make you deal with it and still have Skull Barrier active on the board. It literally is a spicy 1-of. 2 Cowboy Batteries because I can fish them out of the discard pile whenever I need them and they have a low block. 3 Hyper Bombs because stun and draw is amazing. Napalm Bomb because I'm a 5-hander and this card is godlike. I use Blaze Whip and Hair Trigger for mind games. Blaze Whip is especially good early game because the standard character builds 3 to 4 foundations. So I can launch with it with the hunt for spiders and dragons, make you pitch a card to not burn, and then commit a foundation to make you debuild if you block it. And most people don't pitch because it only has 3 damage and they don't know what Blaze Whip does. Then I commit the foundation and they go, oh, so if I don't block this, I gotta take 5, and if I do block it, I have to debuild myself 1, and this is like turn 2. So I love Blaze Whip, and it's got a 2 high block. And then Hair Trigger is a great lead off into Blaze Whip because if they don't block the Hair Trigger, they burn for 4, or they take 2 and then burn for 2, and then Blaze Whip becomes a 7, which forces them to block it and debuild. So the deck is really just mind games deck. You're not on the same clock that you used to be with Napalm Man 2 because his burn effect is dependent on what you do as the opponent. Whereas Napalm Man 1, you just got to burn them every time you played an attack card. Other than that, I'm playing Homing Missiles at 2. I feel like Homing Missiles is probably the weakest card in the deck, even though it has a lot of strengths being a mid block, but it's a mid attack, so it gets blocked very easily. And then I'm only running 2 Skull Barriers because once I have one in the discard pile and Skullbuster and all my other little tricks, I never need to see more than 2. I mean, I might move it up to 3, but I think that the deck runs very, very well. I haven't really dropped any matches other than losing to Ayari when he came into town this weekend with Fei Long. Shout outs. But otherwise, the attack lineup is really, really good. As far as foundations, I'm running 4 hunts because it's a low block.
And the card's broken.
The card's amazing. It's degenerate, as I put it. Shout outs to Barrett for me using the word degenerate all the time. Balance Fighter at 4 because I'm a 5 hand size character and this feeds my hand size on defense. More often than not, I'll go into a turn just with a Balance Fighter in hand and pitch it to pick up a Skull Barrier and then draw another card. Ruthless Dictator does God's work because it gives non-charge counter attacks to Breaker 1. So I'll block with Prepared to Fight and then Breaker, Breaker, Breaker if I have a bunch of them out. 2 Athena's Knights because I'm 5 hand size and DR is still really good. Towering Over Rivals is really good with homing missiles, and Blaze Whip because if I haven't had to commit anything yet, I can pop Towering and destroy one of your committed foundations while you don't get anything of mine, and then I can follow up with Blaze Whip and commit to confirm that I'm going to get the 3 damage off of it and then the 2 more from your life total from the burn. Designed for combat for Balance Fighter and to just filter my hand quicker. Cage Fighter for more control when I'm breakering you or trying to not take a massive amount of damage on my defensive turn.
And
Hazoku,
when you're going offensive and they block with any non-foundation.
correct. Hazoku Prince because I'm playing 1 self-destruct, 2 in the sideboard.
And when they're committed with Towering Over Rivals, you don't get
I don't get broke. Yeah, you can't break that. So, Portal Barrier at 2 because I gotta save some life somehow, just like with Athena's Knight. Unpredictable movements because Speed Hate, Know Your Objective does a lot of work, even though getting me to Desperation is kind of hard, but it's nice to handle the DR cards with it. And then my spicy 1-ofs consist of 1 Street Fighter, 1 Year 2000X because it's more hand control on defense with Skullbuster and Napalm Man himself. Rook Takes Pawn helps me control your staging area more by breaking the face downs that I flip with Hunt for Spiders and Dragons. And then Buddhist Devotion because it's a high block with Breaker 2 that lets me put down cards that I need on offense that I don't want to pitch out of my hand in case I'm trying to end you. My sideboard consists of Mr. Grant Padley himself. The deck stalls out against a character Grant comes in. A 3rd Athena's Knights, 2 more Self-Destructs, a spicy 1-of Guardian Slasher, 1 more Prepared to Fight, and 2 Novitiates for DR decks. Like I said before, the deck is very consistent. It's 66 cards plus Napalm Man. I've only really dropped 1 match, and I just got ousted by Intocellus and Mistral with Phelan. Chris has played against this deck a couple times, and AJ Murray told me that the deck shouldn't work the way that it does, and then we sat down and played a game yesterday. And
my Woodman that's very defensive, it loses to it just about 99% of the time.
Right. So the deck controls my turn and also controls your turn, and I control your staging area, I control your damage, I control your hand. This deck lets me be in complete control of what you do every turn.
So is there anything that you might end up changing, like ratios around?
No, I like this deck a lot. Maybe Skull Barrier to 3, maybe Cowboy Battery to 3. Homing Missiles I feel like is probably the weakest card, but it gives me a lot of value over your foundations and your vitality. I just hate that it's a mid block. I love Blaze Whip and Hair Trigger, but I just can't see myself playing 4 of them. I would love to play 4 Blaze Whip, but I don't think that I need to because I can get whatever I want at any time. Maybe a 3rd Cowboy Battery because it'd be nice to have another low block in the discard pile because it's nice with Napalm Man to be like, pitch Balance Fighter, you're attacking me with, Magnet Slam. All right, pick up Cowboy Battery, full block your Magnet Slam, and I drew a card off the Balance Fighter. So, there's just tons of ways for me to constantly stop from taking damage. Balance Fighter is really good with How Do You Like Those Apples? Two Fists just helps me control your board more by not having to deal with cards that are going to give me problems. So yeah, I really like this deck. I've enjoyed playing it, and yeah, what else you got?
So would you say Death would be probably his strongest symbol, or would you try him under any other symbol?
I really like Void. I think everybody that's probably seen this knows that I was a big fan of the Void symbol with Prepared to Fight in my Terry 2-dot hand control deck. And I love base as well. I played Void base at the San Antonio PGC and got 2nd this year. But I saw the Void build for Reno. I don't remember who was playing it, but I liked what I saw. I liked the control of the Death symbol, and we all know that, I think the Death symbol is probably one of the best symbols in the game right now. Prepared to Fight is a disgustingly good card. So
That definitely increased all their symbols.
right. So people sleep on Blaze Whip. They sleep on Hair Trigger. Every attack puts you in an awkward position all the time. Hair Trigger makes you go, do I take 2 damage or do I use my high block to not give his next attack +4 and put another card out of my hand, and then I follow it up with a Blaze Whip and make you block and then stuff another card from your staging area. So I like being in control of the game at all times.
That's really great. So is there any shout-outs you want to give that may have helped you with the deck or anything?
AJ Murray helped me build my Grant Padley deck for the Rockford PTC. Because I had played the Napalm Man 1-dot, like I said earlier, in Turbo and really enjoyed it. Chris Nixon's gave me a couple of hints, but he said the way that I built the deck was really strong. I mean, really, no, not really. I mean, shout outs to everybody that came out for our grand opening this weekend, played some UFS with us, hung out, got to go get ramen and udon down in Benson, and we went to Hooters and had food. But shout out to everybody that helped me get the store open. So
Yeah. Well, looks like you're having fun. We might end up seeing another build by the sounds of it by Void, under Void most likely.
yeah.
So we'll wrap this video up for now and see where you're at later. See you guys.